There might be some people here watching this in the UFO community or the alien community or the conspiracy theory community. And a lot of people are always just purveying the idea that I saw an orb, it exists, it's there. Okay, yes, we know that, but what's the next step? And all of these aspects somehow get blended into higher dimensional consciousness that we call aliens or we call extraterrestrials, but in fact, according to these teachings, they are just us evolved into the future. Vibing?
I'm vibing, bro.
Right.
Ooh, that's a lot of cameras.
That's crazy.
How you
3,
doing, my
2,
boy?
1.
Good to see you, Ivan.
Armel,
Back in person recording.
we are in person.
Let's get it.
We've been going through virtual reality for too long. Everybody, welcome back to the Purple Matter podcast. It's been a long journey. Welcome back.
Yeah, you may have followed us through different part of the world. We've been like channeling through different countries, and now we're here back in Taiwan.
Vietnam, India, New York City, France. Now we're here in Taipei.
Yeah, and a lot more. I think we forgot some countries, I believe, but it's
That's
okay. You guys can check in on the previous episode. But now we're in the serious episode. We got to catch up on a lot of things here.
Yeah, this is a big check-in. I mean, obviously, for those of you who've been tuning in since episode 1, we started this maybe like 2 months ago?
Right.
2 months
3
ago.
months ago.
3 months ago. Armel was on the run, on the go, going from country to country, spiritual journey. I myself holding down the fort here in Taipei and then going to New York City as well. And I think the last time we recorded, I was in Vietnam and you were still in India.
That's the last episode we made. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you went on a whole spiritual retreat, yoga certification journey.
Yeah. So I think that's gonna be the first topic of today, right?
I know,
But
you
I
came
think
back as a Super Saiyan.
I want to keep it not so long because I feel like all the rest of the topics can be aligned with what I've learned, and
Right.
I think that's like.
Right.
Yeah, it's been like 1 month full training, and I felt like it was a life-changing effect for me. I never really been interested, as you know. I mean, I always been interested in yoga, but I never went deeper than the like classical stretch session. That was the right thing after my workout.
I know, you dived in. I mean, for those of you who haven't seen the result, that post of my man was on a handstand scorpion after it's all said and done. It was like came out as a warrior.
Yeah. This is just the external aspect of it.
Exactly.
The external form.
Exactly.
And manifestation of what is in the head, actually.
Exactly.
And so 1 month of training where I was like deep inside the school. You are living in the school with the teacher. It's called Gurukula.
Right.
And you can go out. It's very strict. It was in the south of India, in Kerala, so we were with mainly Indian people. Usually ashrams, like there's a lot of foreigners, a lot of tourists that comes in for yoga vacation or whatever. And this one was like fully deep in Indian culture.
Wow.
56 students, and I did learn a lot, and I think it was really necessary at this point of my life to go through a yoga teaching training, yoga teacher training.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a confirmation on everything I've learned before. So when I arrived in Taiwan 4 years ago and started my entrepreneurial business journey, slowly I started building some new habits and discipline that was coming naturally to me, such as like waking up early, eating healthy, working out every day, studying. All these things came out naturally, inspired by the people I was encountering.
Right.
And when I arrived at the yoga center and I figured out what the thing he was teaching us was actually a confirmation that all those tools that I was applying was the right path to go through the purpose
exactly.
It's like
something was leading you towards.
Exactly. And this was a confirmation. And on top of that, there was a lot of classes on Vedanta philosophy. And this was very interesting because everything we're talking here on Purple Matter, which I'm fascinated about, is actually related 100% on Vedanta philosophy. And I was always looking for something where a school where I could, consolidate those foundations and have a proper base on those knowledge. And I was looking for psychology school in Japan, for philosophy school, or that was actually one of my favorite sector in high school, philosophy. I had a lot of hours of philosophy.
Me too, I love philosophy.
And Vedanta philosophy was straight in everything I love, bro. So I was really grateful. That was like one of the things that kept me during the whole month. That was like, that's actually, I know I'm at the right place right now.
Wow.
That's what I was seeking for.
Philosophizing, that's what we used to say back in the day, me and my good friends who we used to do philosophy, sessions. We used to call it philosophizing.
Yeah, that's magical.
Crazy.
I think that's what the world needs now.
Right.
We'll need a lot of philosophers. You send me something about remind me the word when they switch from religious dogma to technology, and now we're gonna switch from technology dogma to spiritual.
Oh, it was like, I forgot the exact term, but it was this concept where now
Renaissance.
Basically Renaissance. We're going through almost like a revolution. Yes, definitely like a new Renaissance where we're gonna let go or release the technological dogmas, and we're gonna go to the human, the non-computable, as it said, the things that cannot be measured or calculated, non-scientific almost, where we're entering this realm where I can sense
we need to go beyond.
Yeah, it's people talk about catastrophic disclosure or cognitive dissonance, where the people that we used to trust for answers are now scrambling to tell us the truth. And I think we saw that recently. Maybe we'll talk about it later, but we saw that recently with this New Jersey drone phenomenon that's been happening, and these orbs that are making themselves more, I guess you could say, apparent to the masses. And people are just looking at authorities like, what are these things? And every authority is stepping on each other's toes. No one knows the answers.
That's actually when you sent me this while I was in the training, because we had one day off and I could have access to my phone during those day offs, and you sent me some information and you sent me that, which was like the first Renaissance happened because people were feeling too limited with the religion.
Right.
They needed to find something deeper, or they need to be closer to the truth, and that's when science came in and gave proper patterns to understand the world we're living in.
Right.
And now we arrive in a stage where science is not enough, and we need to find a deeper reason for why we are here. And that's when you ask yourself the question, who am I? Why am I here? And what is this world?
Right.
And then that's when we're gonna shift from technological scientific approach to those new spiritual conception of the world.
Right.
And I think that's at that point when we're gonna all start becoming living gods on earth. All living gods.
And when you say living gods, I almost imagine like the connotation of the word God always leads to, I think, freedom. I would think it's freedom. Many people would connotate it towards power or control or not pure knowledge. But I think deep down we're all looking for pure freedom and pure truth. Mm-hmm. And I think we spoke about this before, about the spokes on the wheel of truth. And there's a center that is truth, and it's hard to touch it, it's hard to see it, it's hard to taste it. But the religions and the philosophies are like the spokes on that wheel. They all are part of the same wheel, but each one is holding the fabric of our society, of our civilization, of our, I guess you can say, understanding of reality together. But that truth is something that cannot truly be fathomed in this state. And you mentioned a word from your teachings where you spoke, what was it called?
Ishvara?
Ishvara.
Yeah.
This is fascinating to me.
I want to
talk
you know
about
a little bit more about Ishvara.
Right.
So Ishvara, if I want to use mathematical term with like plus and equal, I think that would be the easiest way to show it now.
Right.
But Ishvara is basically Brahman plus Maya. What is Brahman? Brahman is the ultimate absolute truth. That's the ultimate God. All, like, if you think like the whole universe is a mass, that science say that, is a mass of atoms, an ocean of atoms.
Right.
This is Brahman.
Right.
All this thing is the creation of everything.
That's the macro or
That's-
something. If every planet was a tiny cell in the body or the being.
It's the everything, and actually it's impossible to describe it. So if one
Right.
day you think you have understood what is Brahman, you make a mistake, because it's not you can't describe it. It's over our words. That's Brahman. And then Brahman has a creative power. He has a creative power. The creative power is called Maya. Maya is our imagination, our creative power. We see the worlds. This is Maya. This is illusory, non-truth, and it is subjective to everyone. You have a different Maya than I do.
Is a
You see a
product of
different
Maya samsara? Or is that different?
The wheel of samsara is the wheel of birth and rebirth. So
Interesting.
yeah, it's different. Maya is just the creative power, so your imagination. And then when you mix Maya with Brahman, you combine them, so Brahman plus Maya equal Ishvara.
Equals
And
Ishvara.
Ishvara is the closest realization of God in a material realm.
Right.
So you can think about it in many way or form. You can think about it about like some Indian gods, Shiva, Vishnu, or you can think about it piece of art. Someone that was tuning with the pure
Music.
consciousness of
These are
Brahman.
manifestations.
Manifestation.
So Ishvara is a manifestation of these powers in this realm,
Exactly.
essentially.
Yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
that's
Poetry,
exactly.
literature.
And
We call it that when you're just musicians, artists, that like we see it. We can all
Exactly.
recognize it when something or someone has reached that state, and we're just.
And
It
this is
brings us to
something-
tears. It moves
exactly.
us. It
and
touches
you
us.
said everything, and I want to go deeper in the subject, and hopefully you guys can follow and let us know in the comment if you want like to
Right.
to clarify any detail, because it's very complicated and I'm not sure I can like withdraw everything right now
Right,
on set. But
Right.
so
Hopefully we
Maya-
reach
Maya is-
Ishvara on a podcast.
yeah, hopefully
It's possible.
Yeah, that's actually
Conversation.
highly possible.
Conversational Ishvara.
So Maya, the creative power, and Brahman become Ishvara. If you do Brahman with Upadis, Upadis is our body and mind, mental, not like high consciousness, it's mental and body. If you mix Brahman and Upadis, it's called Jiva. And Jiva is the individual soul. It's your individual soul. That's the thing that's gonna cross birth and rebirth, that's gonna cross death and rebirth. So Jiva is the thing that left your body when you passed away.
Which can be akin to other languages that describe the spirit.
Yeah,
The
spirit,
soul,
soul, individual
Holy
soul.
Spirit.
Individual soul.
Right, the energy that's reincarnated.
So that's Brahman identifying with the Upadis. And my understanding of your concepts, coming back to the new renaissance that's coming in, AI technology gonna remove step by step every work that is identifying Brahman with the Upadis, with the body and mind, which can be Uber driver. Any work that you do for physical and material purposes is going to be removed. A Uber driver is not driving, maybe some are doing, but I believe those ones that are doing will find a way to drive people still, without maybe Uber or another thing, but they will still be able to drive if it's that really their purpose. But otherwise, every other people that drive Uber just to make a money is not going to be here anymore. It's going to be replaced by automated car, right? People that are in a secretary office taking notes on like what the guy is saying.
Admins, executive assistants.
Exactly. If all those people are doing this for material benefits without any higher purpose, those work going to be removed. And it's going to allow humans to non-identified with Upadis anymore and just work on their creative power, being creators. So reaching the bridge between Brahman and Maya and become Ishvara. And that's what I mean when I was saying we're all going to become self-realized gods on earth and all creators, and we're going to arrive in a stage of abundance where we can create everything non-stop without any efforts.
That's amazing, because this is directly full circle to the seed birth of Beyond the Hustle, Purple Matter, which was the question that I asked in the that meeting of where's the world going? Is it going to human-centric or a tech-centric world? And the question that I asked was, if robotics and AI successfully take over all of the, so to say, mundane tasks, this, what is it called?
Upadis.
Upadis.
So
upadis sounds like the toiling of the world, the farming, the Uber driving, all the actions that sustain civilization. If robotics and AI take over the upadis, it allows the spirit of man to then move to the next state on the way to enlightenment.
It's not going to replace, I want to clarify, it's not going to replace upadis. We always have upadis, but it's going to non-identify ourselves to upadis.
Our upadis will become something different.
Yeah.
So it could become, I see what you mean. So right now, our body and mind is almost attached to the physical.
Most of the people, 99% of
Right.
the people think that's your body, and they think
Right.
that's their mind.
Right, so it's attached to physical labor,
Yeah.
laborious aspects of
Survival term.
survival.
I want to make this body survive.
Right.
I gotta get money to have food. to have this,
Maslow's basic
Exactly.
food, basic shelter.
You are identifying yourself with this body.
Right.
As soon as you stop identifying yourself with this body and you identify yourself with Brahman,
Right.
and then you combine your creative power with Brahman, you become, you can produce, creates.
Right.
Ijara.
Which kind of feeds this concept of what does a world with 1 million people enlightened look like?
Yeah, I think it will look really nice, and you know when Abiga was talking about answering this question,
Yeah.
and I recommend everyone to watch this clip because it's a fire clip,
Right.
and it's still working now. We still get
Right.
engagement on that
It's
clip.
still driving
Yeah.
these questions.
Because
what
this
does that
is
world
actually
look like?
one of the best answers he provided, and it will be an amazing world. And he said everything. He said everything started for him by studying the Bhagavad Gita.
Right.
And the Bhagavad Gita is teaching us all this. And it has been one of the most ancient story that was first transmitted by singing. Bhagavad Gita is actually the song of God. And he was singing because no one was able to write, or no one was able to like communicate by talking with like telling a story or everything. It was chant.
Right.
So
Oral
they were
tradition
already
had to
saying
pass it through song.
everything there, and still now it's so relevant. So I think human has lost themselves into this material world
Of
to be able
capitalism,
to
industrialization.
Exactly.
We
We
lost
lost
ourselves
ourselves.
in this. We became robots.
to reborn again. You know, life is always like this. You destroy to grow, and that's what human has done. I think we were capable to reach these states of consciousness in the ancient time. That's for sure, because people were singing these things. And now, like you see, Einstein studied the Bhagavad Gita. He was really interested in it, and reading it is very, very beneficial.
It's amazing. It's so amazing.
And so we lost ourselves into this material world to find ourselves better. And the self is with a big S. It's not the self like, it's the self.
Right. Back to samsara. Samsara is a product of Opidus.
Maya.
Is a product of Maya.
Yeah.
So samsara is kind of like a material world.
I hope I don't make any mistake in the Sanskrit word, but yeah, the wheel of samsara is the wheel like this, and so you born, you live your life, you learn a lot, and then you leave your body, you leave your physical body, to find a new body where you can learn more and grow until you reach moksha, which is liberation. And at this point in the Indian philosophy, when you reach moksha,
Almost
you
like
don't
a
have
spiral.
to reborn again.
It's almost like a spiral.
It's like a cycle. And in samsara you have samskara, which is the suffering.
This is very fascinating. I mean, I really enjoy the logic to these kind of teachings and these philosophies, because I feel like it really gives you a vantage point of what to focus your energy and your mindfulness on. And it's so fascinating how these teachings are kind of resurfacing in different ways. I mean, you even mentioned how the Matrix is embedded with Hinduism. I didn't even know that. Right? You said one of your friends.
Yeah, no, one of the teachers there was saying that the music at the end is actually all it was actually the prayer we're singing.
Right.
Yeah, Om Trayambakam is like the prayer at the end of the Matrix.
This is, yeah, it's amazing. It's like all these clues have been laid out before us. And I can't help but think about, one of my favorite philosophical, Plato's allegory of the cave, where we all are just watching our shadows.
That's Maya.
That's Maya.
That's Maya.
The shadows,
shadow.
that's the illusion.
Exactly, that's Maya. That's your creative power. You think this is the truth.
Right, the frog in the well.
Yeah. I'm sure like the scene right now I'm seeing is a different scene that you're seeing because of your experience. You don't see the same thing as me because everything you've learned,
It's going to be amazing. I mean, Ishvara is a very fascinating concept too. To think that Ishvara is going to be compounded and multiplied as people wake up and become more enlightened.
It's going to be a beautiful word.
It's going to be a beautiful world. And it's fascinating because just recently, those of you who are watching, this is happening right now in December of 2024. If you can go back to all the headlines, if you're watching in the future, and you're watching this in the past, whatnot, there is no time. But recently we were talking about, again, these occurrences of these orbs, these unidentifiable phenomenons in the sky, and then there's these drones and these orbs, and everybody's confused, and people have these theories. Are they aliens? Are they extraterrestrial? Are they government? Whatever. I had this epiphany where, we have some people who we know who do, contact, extraterrestrial contact, right? And sometimes we can sense that these people are obsessed with seeing the phenomenon. Like, I want to see a spacecraft. And I can't help but feel, and even sometimes there's moments where like, I would like to see a spacecraft, I want to. Or this reminds me of like debates I've had with like even my father. Are aliens real? Are aliens not real? And there's always that feeling like if they were real, they would show themselves. There's an obsession with material.
Yeah.
But I started to feel like that is still an ego-driven thing. Because it makes me think, what if everyone can see orbs?
But that's it. You can take the example of the video game. You play GTA. You don't see the orbs in GTA. You want to see it. You want to go on the top of the mountain, see the orb, right?
You want to see the
aliens. You want to go see it. As soon as you've seen it, you've seen it. That's it. And that would be the same case if we do it. We see orbs. It's like, a short amount of time we're gonna be excited and we're gonna have a dopamine hit seeing the orbs. It's like, wow.
Right.
And then after like 5-6 days, you're gonna be like, it's part of our reality now.
Now what?
Yeah.
So this is kind of my point. Is like, okay, once everyone accepts and has seen these orbs or accepts that there are interdimensional beings, once we all accept that, now what? What are you going to do with that knowledge, that message? And this is where I think Ishvara is very interesting to me, because Ishvara is now the creative aspect of it. You see an orb, what do? Are you going to compose music? Are you going to create an art piece? Are you going to write something? And it's fascinating because I know there might be some people here watching this in the UFO community or the alien community or the conspiracy theory community. And a lot of people are always just purveying the idea that I saw an orb, it exists, it's there. Okay, yes, we know that. Hindus have known this, but what's the next step? And then that makes me think of, like, fascinating enough, Leonardo da Vinci has one of these amazing art pieces, the Salvator Mundi, that shot of Jesus holding an orb with there's like three triangle lights in the orb that he's holding.
The picture you sent?
Yeah. And it's like, it makes me think, like, here you have a man who might have encountered this, maybe this energy from Brahman, but he then channeled it into Ishvara, and his painting is now an Ishvara for humans.
But for sure. And a lot of things right now in our world right now is, if we are aware of it or no, is actually product of Ishvara. And I think one of the first steps to encounter extraterrestrial, I've been really, I don't know much at all about the drones in New Jersey.
Right.
I've been like locked up in the ashram for a month, so I'm very new to all this.
Right.
But
a man came out, the aliens is here.
Yeah, when I read everything that is written in the group chat we're sharing, I feel that the first step to encounter aliens, and in those words I really relate to what Bashar is saying about
Right.
the first step to encounter aliens is actually removing any approach to conspiracy theories, not being attached to any conspiracy theories, and focus on your own, on the actual truth, the actual reality, because people can drive you in so very easily in such a different way apart from the truth with conspiracy theories.
Right.
And it's really hard to understand what is the truth when you focus on conspiracy theories. Could be anything. Aliens in New Jersey, John in New Jersey. It could be governments trying actually to like let us know that this is, I mean, any conspiracy theories is not the right way to engage contact with aliens. The right way would be, for me, to focus on the truth. And the truth is only inside us. Yeah. And as soon as we understand the truth inside us, we'll be ready to encounter aliens. Because the day we're going to encounter aliens, that's Zoe told that last time. The day when we're going to encounter aliens is only a hypothesis I'm saying right now. But it sounds very true to me, so I'm keen to share with you.
Right.
They might be able to bring out our consciousness toward their own body to facilitate the communication. And when we're going to have our consciousness into their own body, we're going to see ourselves from their body.
Right.
And it's going to be so crazy for us if we are not ready and if we are not aware of the true consciousness, the absolute truth.
Right.
That we may just die directly, because it's the experience of death, the direct experience of death. You see your body from another perspective.
Right.
And so if we're not ready, we can't encounter them. If we have not met our true self, if we have not dived deep inside ourselves and find the pure consciousness that is actually observing our thoughts, then it's going to be really tough if they do exist to meet them.
When we talk about philosophy, religion, spirituality, I do sense deeply that we cannot negate consciousness, mindfulness, and this concept that when you look at the ancient texts and they talk about God, they talk about communicating to God or the Holy Spirit or the Elohim or I'm forgetting the phrase I shared yesterday, the Shohorim, or I'm saying it wrong, people, but the concept of the angels that are these orbs. I forgot the term.
I'm not sure.
But it's like all of these aspects somehow get blended into higher dimensional consciousness that we call aliens or we call extraterrestrials, but in fact, according to these teachings, they are just us evolved into the future.
100%.
Right, and you talk about achieving or becoming gods on earth through Ishvara. What happens after 100, 500, 1,000 years of humans in this state of Ishvara? How do we change? How does our bodies change? Who do we become 10,000 years into the future? So this is where it gets like a mind melt.
Yeah, and that can only be created by our imagination right now, because it's hard to really project in like 500 years. But it's good to like read the Xiaoba prophecy where they describe the planet. That could be one of the possibility. Who knows?
This is why I feel like it's always so funny to me, because there are people in my life, people that I love, that I know very well, very logical, very scientific. And of course, science has brought us to such a point of technology. The way I feel what science is science is the mastery of the monkey and his bone. It's interesting. I love that scene from Stanley Kubrick when the first ape learned how to use a bone as a weapon.
Right.
And science, I think, stems from this concept of understanding physics, observation, experimentation, control. But you cannot control everything, or you become something else. You become an ego. You become the tool.
Yeah, and I think, as you say, science just described this physical world, and as I read it in the text the guy sent also this morning about Einstein explaining that actually all this reality is only energy.
Right.
Then you can understand that energy, you can control energy. And so this is called, in the teaching I've learned, it's called pranayama. Prana is energy, your prana, and yama is control. So exercises of pranayama every day can help you learn how to control your energy through the grossest expression of energy, which is your breath. Your breath is the grossest expression of energy. You have energy all over your body. You have like 72,000 nadis. Nadis is channels of energy everywhere in your body. 72,000. And so yeah, by controlling those principal one, you can already understand that you can control prana just with your mind.
Right.
And so if you control your breath, it's gonna impact your mind.
Right.
Only through your breath. And you can calm your mind through this. So actually we understand very easily that now we can control energy like that.
That's what I'm excited for.
Thoughts are energy. Thoughts produce things. Thoughts create things. The power of thoughts is incredible.
This is what I'm truly excited for, is that we are obsessed, the technological dogma. We're obsessed with...
Maybe go in noise cancellation.
Which one? Red?
The on off.
This one,
On
the
other
red?
side. On off.
Click it.
On off here. Yeah. Yellow? Yeah, okay, perfect.
That.
So that's what's super exciting for me, that I'm hyped about, is as we enter this next phase, this new age that we're entering, where modern physics has gotten us to a certain point, but there's still so much dark spots in the science. It's almost like we have to make up things. Naturally, that's imaginative. But we're at a point where we're starting to realize that there very well might be technologies or discoveries that have not been shared with humanity.
That's for sure.
Right.
That's 100%.
0 point energy, cold fusion technology, plasmoids.
Yeah.
Right? These orbs we're seeing is it's like conscious plasma. There's these fabrics of universal truth that exist, that it seems like there are people who know, and then sometimes it leaks out. And then that makes, ironically, Elon Musk's SpaceX rockets just look like toys. And
I think how we're gonna get to those is a hypothesis, but I think it's pretty. If it happens that way, that would be pretty nice. A lot of people think like the project of Jeff Bezos, or maybe Elon Musk, I'm not sure exactly of what is his goal in his head, but
Right.
For Jeff Bezos, they think we want to colonize Mars. We want to go on moon, colonize, have like a outside of the Earth colonization.
Right.
But that's actually not the truth. The fact is that Jeff Bezos want to go over on Mars or moon or whatsoever to be able to supercharge the Earth with infinite energy, because the universe is infinite energy. So we want to just supercharge the Earth, and that we can live on a sustainable planet, like a small paradise where only living gods are walking around, and unlimited abundance with infinite energy. And now we're developing AI, and AI is requiring so much energy. As soon as we can plug in this infinite power towards AI gonna grow in like infinite ways.
What do you mean supercharge Earth?
It's gonna take energy from the space.
Right.
It's gonna plug space with the Earth.
Right.
So it's infinite. The energy in space is infinite.
And what does Mars have to do with that?
I don't know. He maybe just build some generator there. I don't know what's his exact plan.
I see what you mean.
He want to build some stuff outside Earth to like get the resources and provide Earth
I look
with
at it
that.
like resource too. I look
Resources.
at like this this space race right now, or this
Is to
aspect.
get the resources. And be
Resources,
able-
minerals.
Exactly. And then, so Earth will be like a small paradise like that, and AI will be supercharged with this energy. And as AI going to be able to multiply towards infinite, it's going to be able to create this technology that humans cannot create, all those things that aliens are supposed to like drive, those like
Right, the saucers. and
technology that can change shape and go
Right.
underwater and
Right.
fly at the time that human cannot perceive, that I believe AI will be able to develop that, because the intelligence is going to be so crazy. It's going to be crazy. They're going to be able to materialize everything, you know.
That's true.
In like 10 years, the
That's
AI
true.
just going to be able to like with your mind.
With imagination.
Hopefully it's not the cheap, but if you use the glasses, you can just like say, generate a tree.
Right, and because we're doing that in VR video game world, regardless.
Yeah,
Within
that's
the
gonna
video
be like
within the
that,
video game world, we already infinite imagination, essentially.
Exactly.
So at
The
what
video
point
game
does
is
that
the
bridge?
world.
At what point does that bridge into physical reality, like melting mind, like, you know what I mean? Kind of like
AI gonna learn that. I don't think we right now are capable to learn that, but AI gonna do it for us.
I think it's very
AI gonna help us evolve. It's gonna help us grow. That's the natural path to human. We created it, so there's a reason why.
I think it's very probable.
We are gods, so it's a product of God.
Right.
AI is product of God,
right.
and we don't have to see that as threats. The threats is the person that is identifying himself with his body and mind and want to take control of AI hack the system. That's the threat. That's the guy that wants material benefits for him, and he's playing with his ego, and he's gonna hack the AI system, and then that can be really, really, really a disaster.
That's so fascinating.
Because then you want to generate a tree, but someone has hacked you, and you're gonna just generate something terrible that is very scary. Because it has been hacked, and this is very dangerous. That's the only threat. AI is not a threat.
That makes me think about the fabric of reality can almost be so thin towards a utopian dream or a pure nightmare, like a dark nightmare.
It will go to something good, bro. There's no way, like, humans are good, bro. We're all good.
I believe
there
we're
will be some mistakes.
Yeah, I believe we are inherently good too. I believe deep down, you know, we're almost very basic. We want to be loved and to give love and to also use that love to create inspiration. But at the same time and at the same token, we do have, humans all have their own fetishes and their own vices, and they like there is dark. And this is just the beauty of the spectrum of free will. And even in our modern day right now, 2024, whatever that number even means, I mean, if we were to even entertain evolution theory and to imagine that we evolved from apes, if you were to show apes what we're doing right now, show them. If you were to bring back an iPad and show them,
They didn't understand.
they would look at us like it would just,
they would go crazy. They would just break the iPad.
yeah, it would be insane to them. So just imagine even right now that we're getting glimpses of, like we were joking the other day, when you see an alien with the eyes and you get scared, like you just, what is that?
You don't understand.
But can you imagine that that's our future?
Yeah, I think that's true what you're saying.
Because even the hairy monkey, to see a skinless human, a hairless human,
we're gonna keep evaluating until a stage where, like, as I told you, our brain gonna get so much smarter that it's gonna start growing like that, and our eyes gonna be so much in front of screens that it's gonna grow as well.
Our eyes are gonna get bigger because we need to process more.
Yeah. What do we think? Do we think this is our final shape? Like,
right?
No, that's not the final step. It's infinite. It's gonna keep evolving, and I'm sure the aliens are not the final step. They still have a lot to learn.
But you see, even that messes with your ego. It messes with your moment right now, because you look at yourself in the mirror, and we're in this state of social media just feeding narcissism, right? Feeding visual perception. Like, I like the way I look. I'm a human. I'm a man. I'm a woman. We're attached to this vehicle that is human body so much that we created entire industries around it. Fashion.
This is not good.
Right? Fashion. Clothes,
Yeah.
you know.
This is learning. learning
right?
process.
It's just,
You learn,
it's just,
you know,
it's fascinating.
same as in the business. The earlier you do the mistake, the better it is. So I'm really glad we went through all this. You know, the social media step, you know. There is this time in my life where I wanted to take photos, take selfie, take like pictures and show it off.
Right.
I did this. And then I learned it bring me nothing good. And I learned. And now I don't do it anymore. I
Right.
don't show off. I don't take selfie and go. Then when you go to India, bro, people are in the selfie time. They take selfie a lot, but they're gonna learn from that,
Interesting.
and they're gonna stop.
Interesting.
And so fashion is same. You see all the evaluated people that have a huge amount of money right now. Check out the clothes that they're wearing. They understood that wearing a brand is not something that's gonna bring him good things. I mean, wearing like a, if it's good quality, of course. But all them have like black shirts and
Right.
jean
Right.
but it's good quality, but it's not for showing off. They understood. A lot of people hasn't understand yet.
Even as I say fashion too, it goes beyond clothes. Like fashion even goes to trends, and you can dial it all the way to ideology. Like it's in a strange sense, it's in fashion to talk about what we talk about right now. Right?
Yeah.
It's in fashion.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is fascinating because even the concept of aliens, you know, AI, evolution through AI, cyborg, this is all in fashion to talk about this. But the greatest visionaries are going 100 years into the future. So that's truly like what I hope to have my finger on or to taste is what is 100 years past this moment.
Yeah. So you know when there was the Greek and they had the gods, you know, they were doing the sculpture of the gods, so we know how they were looking. They were looking really nice, standing out.
This is the aesthetics.
Nice shape and everyone.
Right.
And that's a
The
living
golden,
god.
yeah, the golden ratio stage.
And we can imagine the future where, because we learn through all this process of mistakes and failure, we learn through that, and we're gonna come into a new civilization where it won't be just a specific amount of people that will look like that. Everyone will look like that. Everyone will be gods. We went from a stage where there was just a few people in the society, in Greek society, Egyptian societies,
Right.
where a short group of people were gods. We lost ourselves to grow and to like more people look like gods.
I guess my only question then is like, why become a god? Why become a god? Is that our path?
I think why we want to become a god, because we have all one mission, one duty, the highest duty on earth. We all share the same. The highest duty on earth is to find happiness. And happiness is inside yourself. And becoming like a god is a nice thing to say, and it looks really appealing to become a god. But that's only the external materialization of what is in your head. And in your head is actually pure bliss and absolute bliss.
Right.
Yeah. So that's actually part of the accomplishment of our highest duty, which is accomplishing pure happiness.
I can sense that too. And sometimes there's even points where I imagine what is even beyond this concept of happiness? What's beyond feeling happy and feeling sad? Because I feel like even in the human experience, we're constantly going through these dips where like 1 second you can be, you know, the wisest person, calm, peaceful, and then the next moment, maybe something will irritate you and you become impatient and you become arrogant or angry. But then if we were to understand the idea of what God is all. So if you are all, is there a point where you transcend even?
You
talk about transcendence.
That's a beautiful question, and we talked about it off camera a little bit, and that's a question I'm asking myself as well. What's after that?
What's after pure bliss and happiness?
In Indian traditions, Indian philosophy, after you reach the pure happiness, you reach moksha, which they say you don't have to reborn again, because you're self-realized. You become moksha, and it's liberation. It sounds a little bit boring to me, to become moksha. You know, I quite enjoy my experience of learning.
But I am curious, is there a moksha on earth right now?
Yeah, a lot of people attain moksha from the Indian tradition. For people that believe that moksha exists, a lot of people already went into
I want to meet somebody who is in a state of moksha.
No, moksha is no more physical. Moksha is liberation. You are like no more.
You're
Brahman.
You become a concept.
You become Brahman. You become like everything.
So there's
you
no
are absolute bliss.
So there's no human walking that has
no moksha. No, it would be an Ishvara if it's walking in our reality.
Fascinating.
If it's a reality, it would be Ishvara. But moksha is a pure liberation towards Brahman, so you just become the infinite, non-describable.
It's beyond this realm.
Beyond this realm, you become moksha. That's Indian tradition.
So Ishvara is a window to moksha.
Ishvara, I think it's a different concept.
But I mean, even right now, as we use words, it's like
it's non-describable. Non-describable. That's what I say with Brahman. If you think you understood what Brahman is, it's not
wild. Yeah.
It means you didn't understand what it is.
Yeah.
But
you can't verbalize it.
You can't verbalize it. And so for me, as I'm getting back to what I was saying, is that it sounds a little bit boring to reach moksha as the ultimate goal and be part of everything and not being able to reborn again. So I hope that what is being said in the Thiaoba prophecy, that each planet, this is pure, it's from a book, it's not from me, right? So each planet has levels, and we are in a very low level on planet Earth, right? And so aliens that can visit Earth right now, if that's true, are on a higher evaluated planet, okay? And each level, there is some lower planet than us, where people are more primal. Mm-hmm. And in the book, they visit one very primal planet at the beginning, and it's very dangerous. The guy was just want to eat you, know, because it's primal. But when you go on a higher level of planet, there's like new things happening. Right. And they explain that when you reach your higher purpose on Earth, you can then finally reborn. You don't have to reborn in the wheel of samsara that is on Earth. You can reborn on another planet, which is another level. Like you reach the final game here, and you can accomplish a new purpose on another planet. So that's hopefully that is what's happening. Hopefully for me. Because it would be annoying to be just moksha.
That's fascinating. I mean, of course, that's its own mental mind kind of loop, because we can't. It's hard to fathom going to a state of moksha, and what's after moksha. You know what I mean? It's like
it's what is it after? So maybe hopefully Indian philosophy didn't go beyond it, and hopefully we're gonna go beyond it.
Right,
and there's something next. And then when you go on another planet, and I really encourage everyone to read the Thiaoba prophecy, because everything is described.
So dope.
You can go in houses and the wall just open like that without doors, and you get in. So in this kind of planet, there must be like so many new purpose to do, you know, so many new things to achieve, so many new things to learn, so many, you know, and help other planet. That's what they do in the theory. In the theory, aliens help other planets to grow. They give us signs.
I think we're at a point, as you say this too, it makes me think about like who are our close, like our most Ishvara type people, you know? And it makes me think about, you know, of course, everybody's talking about Elon or Bezos, but I almost think that's still like cartoons. They're even more beautiful Ishvara people living in a state of Ishvara.
Definitely, Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos are masters. They are like on another level, but they have mastered the physical world, bro. Right. They have mastered the physical world.
But I'm talking about for every Elon we see, or
they might reincarnate. Jeff Bezos might. I don't know him personally. You know him. If I have a conversation with him, it might be much different, but what he's saying in his video is mainly related to the physical world.
Right.
And if that's the fact, then he might reborn on Earth and get back to like another body, like someone, I don't know, whatever, in, you know, he can reborn and learn again everything until he reach moksha.
That's what I want to talk to somebody who like can tell me like what energy or what spirit are these characters? Like from what time
That would be
period
nice to know.
would they are they reincarnating? Why are they coming into this world as these entities?
And
like these
so this is your individual soul.
Yeah.
As we talked earlier in the video, your individual soul is transferring from one body to another, right? And while he's transferring, he still has samskara. And samskara is, I made a mistake earlier, I said samskara is suffering. No, samskara is actually the subtle impressions on your body about your past experiences. And those samskara travel with you from death to birth.
Right.
So that's why someone gonna get born in a family with the father is a doctor, the mother is a swimmer, you know, or like the natural how to say, the nature gonna lead us to the path we need the most. Because depending on our past experience, that's samskara.
That goes back to what you said too, where you said like, we look at a Jeff Bezos, but the most successful spirit might be living in the slums right now.
Yeah,
I remember you said that, and
100%.
it was like, that's the whole framework of our society that tells us what is the highest revered measure and what how can you truly measure if your spirit is infinite.
Yeah, and so they explain also that there is 3 types of teachers and 3 types of students, and those 3 types of teachers, they are based on the 3 qualities that is Maya. Maya has 3 qualities. I already talked about it in a previous episode, but it's Sattva, Raja, and Tamas. So that's 3 qualities of Maya. And the 3 teachers are also, everything is designed on the 3 qualities. So the 3 teachers are designed on those qualities. The most advanced one is Sattvic, from Sattva, the pure and the knowledge, Sattvic teacher. And there is Sattvic teacher A and Sattvic teacher B. Sattvic teacher B, Sattvic teacher A is the one that is, the student A is the one that needs to spend very little time with his teacher to understand himself. So he can spend an hour or a month with the teacher and he can understand the true self, right? Because it seems that in his previous life, he didn't accomplish 100% his duty and he had to reborn just once again to accomplish it. And that was his last life. And those people are like, they say it's Shivananda, the guy that has built this, you know, this ashram. There's a lot of master in India. Names are here, you know. Rama. I mean, I can't really relate the Indian names right now, but a lot of names are there, and that's just people in India sitting in meditation for years, man.
Wow.
Yeah, because they are comfortable with the Brahman. When you sit in meditation, your goal is to reach this pure consciousness, and you're comfortable with it, so you can spend time for years there, because you know that's your absolute truth.
That's what's fascinating to me too, because once you get into that state, is there a need to progress according to society?
No need.
Then there would be no technology.
Yeah,
if people were in that state, essentially.
Yeah, before one of the stage of knowledge to reach liberation is the stage of detachment from every...
Because they must look at this technological race as
withdrawal of the 5 senses. Withdrawal of the 5 senses. So if you withdraw your 5 senses, you don't need anything.
Then that's pure consciousness?
No, that's just one step. One step is withdrawal of your 5 senses, and then you reach unaffected by anything. And then you reach Brahman is everywhere. Then you reach liberation.
Wow,
that's stage of consciousness.
Right. And not many people want to do that, right? Because
not many people are ready yet, but through learning, through failure, you can learn. That's what
I would imagine. It was like, why do that when we can get the newest PlayStation 3? It's like, that's the battle.
Yeah.
That's the tug. On one hand, the true journey is to sit still and go inside. And to think that there are people who have been sitting still for years.
Because PlayStation 3, like
Channeling
think about it. Some people will see the PlayStation 3, the game, as the thing they need. But I see the PlayStation 3 as something really, really annoying for me. Because this is a game you play here and you give your time to this game while the real game is here on Earth, to my eyes. And I would rather progress into this game rather than a physical game that I'm going to throw 3 years later, right?
It's like a microcosm.
Microcosm, exactly. The real game is here. So for me, I don't want to play any game at all. I'm not interested about that. I want to play the real game. I want to be the master at this game. And then, I think that's it. I think that's it. I want to just be the master at this game.
No, it's fire, man. I mean, we're at this really interesting pinnacle of change. I feel like, we're on the cusp of 2025. Abigail said it too. We're entering a snake year.
So grateful that we have met Abigail, and that
all kinds of different characters.
It's key signs. The more you get tuned in with this pure consciousness, the more you reach this higher state of consciousness,
right.
The more you see these key signs, and they are everywhere, and it's just like everything is so perfect. Everything is leading you to your perfect path. If you start
it's like this,
listening,
this
there is
metric.
one concept, I don't know if you're going to understand that, but it's a very tough concept from the Bhagavad Gita, is the one who see action is in inaction, and inaction in action is the wise. And it basically means that, for example, you see a wall and you think this is inaction. But deep down, bro, this is action. There's a lot going on in this wall. Same as you see the sun. You look at the sun, you think it's inaction, it's still. But actually a lot of actions going on. So this means that our world is actually not true, right? This is not reality. It's not reality. And the one who see action in inactions, I understand that within ourselves, that's the power of God. So you can do nothing and create. So in meditation,
That's fire. That's like perception.
I would love to make it more clear. I don't think I've been really, really clear on this aspect, but action in action.
I mean, this is practice. This is practice.
Yeah.
I mean, even as everybody
I'm
here,
learning.
Yeah, everyone here is listening to us. The words, the concepts, the sentiments, that's all going to change. Like, these are just timestamps in our life.
Yeah.
The episode itself is a timestamp.
Yep. Is an amazing opportunity for us to learn.
Right. We're on the cusp of something special. And 2025, any predictions before we sign off?
2025, I think I don't have much prediction on 2025. I have prediction for the futures,
right.
But I don't know how fast it's gonna go. I think we are not yet prepared to understand how fast it's gonna be. So I don't want to really predict like next month it's gonna be this, next month it's gonna do that, and I don't know anything about it. So It's gonna be tough to predict, and I don't want to be annoyed if this doesn't happen or this happen. But towards the future evolution, I think everything that have been said during the conversation is pretty much what I believe.
It's taking form.
Yeah,
it's taking form.
I think
slowly
human
but surely.
beings gonna reach a stage that we can't even imagine.
Right.
We can't even believe that's what's gonna happen. It's gonna change so fast. We're gonna arrive in a society that is completely different of what we're used to.
Right.
And that's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be a hyper-conscious society. And a lot of people are already reaching these states, maybe unconsciously, but that's part of their journey. They're reaching these hyper-conscious states.
I also think, I had a realization too, that I also think that there is an assistance from technology where I feel like, back to that selfie example, as people are watching people talk to them through Instagram, X, etc., actually we are becoming hyper-social creatures that I almost feel like when you are walking out on the street, and especially coming from New York City, just recently, I can kind of sense this energy in the streets. Could be New York as well. It's the zeitgeist of New York. But I think in general, we're becoming more we're building a rapport, a global rapport with each other. So it's like 100 years ago, a human being would only see maybe maximum 5,000, I'm just throwing a number out there, like a 5,000 people in their entire life from birth to death. They would only see 5,000.
Yeah.
But now we're at a point where
We see
modern
so
man
many.
has seen 100,000 faces.
We're learning super fast.
People are talking to them. Sometimes they're talking to nothing but everyone.
Yeah.
And it's developing our social skills.
Yeah.
So I mentioned this to you the other day, where like we can walk in the street and I feel like I know everybody. I feel like I can
Exactly.
talk to anyone.
Exactly.
You know, I can sense anyone's energy.
part of
So
it.
when you talk about hyper connectivity,
exactly.
hyper
Technology-
consciousness, it's kind of like a training wheel for us.
100%. Technology is a training for us, and God provided us with technology.
Right.
There is a purpose for that. It's just a training. One good example to explain that too is like, for example, when you receive a message from your phone, right? You receive a message, and you're gonna think about the person just like few seconds before receiving the message. And it's actually because you are used to receiving message from this person,
Right.
so your brain is already trained to understand what kind of wave frequency the message this specific person is sending. So the message frequency will reach first your brain, and you're gonna think about this person because you recognize the frequency, and then you're gonna arrive on your phone and you're gonna receive the message. So technology is already like telling us, yo, you can get information like differently.
I mean,
you can
that's gonna
communicate differently. You can get like, your brain is so much powerful than we think, and you can communicate through space. Thoughts can travel. Thoughts are energy, so it can go anywhere.
And this, I mean, before we sign off, this can be a segue to our next convo, because this leads really to our biological technology. How advanced, how developed is it? And will there be a point where we do not need, just like you said, where you can hallucinate without drugs? Will there be a point where the human being will now be able to do certain phenomenon without the assistance of technology? Because now we're really talking about like
I think technology,
telekinesis,
yeah,
clairvoyance.
that's it for sure.
You know, like
We're
the,
gonna develop those skills.
the stories or the myths of biological human beings who have done
We don't
things.
have to sign off yet.
Really?
We have a little bit more time.
I'm thinking
1 hour.
I'm thinking
Oh,
of
this one?
the camera might have.
We'll go with mine.
You sure?
Yeah.
Keep it good.
You wanna
do
check?
Yeah, double check. See if it's rocking.
This one is off. This one is off, but all three are running, bro.
The three are still going?
Yeah. 3 are still going. We're here. We're
bet.
safe. We're in a safe space.
But
Let's go a little bit more. We have the meditation class in 45 minutes. We're good.
I bet.
So, wait, what was you saying?
So basically, I was saying, just like you have been able to experience things that you could
Okay.
experience with, like, let's say, you know, people who take mushrooms or DMT or who take marijuana or coffee.
Okay, so in this stage of knowledge, there is a stage where you start developing CDs. CDs is a human superpower.
Right.
It's like telekinesis, telepathy. This is in the Indian tradition. It's possible. This is called CDs. CDs are very dangerous because CDs can boost your ego. If you understand that you can use telepathy, then you can boost your ego. You know, oh, I have telepathy, you don't have it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So this is very dangerous, and we should not be attached to CDs, superpowers. But yeah, we're gonna definitely, all of us gonna develop it without the use of technology. And in all these technologies that are coming in very intensely, even in 2025, 2026, the coming years is gonna be like a huge increase in technology consumption. And I think the key elements to survive this period is to tune in with your true self.
Right.
Stay in meditation. Understand what is the truth, what is the reality, what is the absolute truth inside yourself. And that's the only way that you won't go in any fake things. Because everything is fake if you think about it. So every kind of information that we're going to consume, we got to take it very carefully. and we gotta still be tuning with the absolute reality. That's the only way to survive. Otherwise, you're gonna be trapped. Anything can say whatever. Even me right now, I can say bullshit, and I recommend everyone to not trust me on what I'm saying. And
do your own research.
Just listen with an open mind.
Right.
Think about it.
Overly it stimulates.
There is three ways of learning. Listen with an open mind, think about it and reason, and then practice.
Right.
That's it.
Right. What practice steps do you feel like you've been taking after your trip to India that has been improving just the way you perceive reality, or the way you cultivate your energy?
The practical things that I'm added to my routine? Yeah, so there is a lot of new things that I've added, and I hope I can keep them for a while. Practice is all about relating to yoga, which, I don't want to be like I'm a yogi or whatsoever.
Right,
but
this is also a practice.
It's just tools that I want to bring to my life because I figured out they help me so much. So it's practice of asanas. So it's a physical exercise. That's the yoga that everyone knows, physical exercise. Then the practice of pranayama, breathing exercise. So this is helping controlling your prana. Then it's a study of scriptures. So study of ancient texts and study of philosophical texts. If it's from India or France or whatsoever, it's always good to read. And then improving my diets. So I was already vegetarian. I think I want to go like fully. I say that to you already. No onions, no garlic, no mushrooms, no, very pure, simple, sattvic diet. And then, what else I have added? Yeah, that's it. Meditation I was already doing every morning, every night.
I'm wondering as well, does that stop at Hinduism? Does it go beyond that?
No. Everything I've said was related to Hinduism because that's part of the tradition where yoga comes from, but it has nothing to do with it.
That's its own tool.
Yeah,
essentially.
You can do yoga by thinking about Christ.
Right. Because that's
and it's actually the same thing. I'm reading a book right now about the Sufis. Do you know Sufis?
I think so.
Sufis is exactly the same thing about the philosophy of yoga, but it's in the Muslim tradition.
Right.
So you think about what does Bismillah mean? What does, that's the same words in a different language.
This is what I'm excited about too, is like, of course, technology as an assistant, as a tool, AI as a tool, like recently there was like a little political headline where Congress tried to pass a bill. It was like 1,100 pages, right? But like, who can read that in a day?
Right.
But like,
AI going to summarize.
Yeah, there's going to be a point where we can kind of feed all of these texts, these ancient libraries that are yet to be discovered or will be discovered. We can feed them to these AIs, and essentially just like the Matrix, right? That's a dream in itself, to like download the entirety of Kung Fu.
True.
Right? Or download the entirety of Hindu text, biblical text, Islamic text.
True.
Right? Like
that's the beauty. That's the beauty of where we're heading to.
Right.
It's going to be very beautiful. It's going to be really
But even
nice.
that can become a CD.
Right.
That's what's tricky too, because the person who has access to that computer can become a CD.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna feel like he knows.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's you got to be careful with that, for sure. No, that's true.
Right.
Yeah, I think we covered pretty much everything. There's so much things to say, but let's keep it to another episode. I think the next episode is gonna be online. From camp to
that's
camp,
true.
Because I think that's the last episode of 2024, and it's gonna be the last episode in Taiwan for quite a while, I think. So, which is really exciting.
Right. We might be going to
Taiwan
some
has been
places.
amazing. Taiwan has taught us so
much. We'll be back.
Life brought us here for some reason.
Right.
So now we're gonna spread out to different part of the globes.
Stay tuned.
Up to see where we're gonna head to.
Where the episode's gonna be next.
Exactly. We're not sure where we will be, and that's the beautiful thing to experience.
That's the beautiful thing. Life in the purple matter.
Life in the purple matter. We jump straight in the purple matter, and my G.
My guy.
I'm really happy. It's very different to have a conversation face to face with it on a webcam.
Right.
You know, you can feel
With this
everything,
subject
you know.
matter.
That's where we understand that technology is still limited. You know, when we are face to face, we can really feel the intentions,
Exactly. We can tap in.
the emotions.
Hopefully you all felt that as well.
Hopefully, went through a filter, but it's still.
Purple Matter Pod. Stay tuned for the next. Do what you guys do best. Hit that, you know, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. You know, the classics. And we'll see you, man. We'll see you soon.
And tune in. That's it.
Peace, y'all. Peace.